All right, so I'm just here in my town. I'm going to do some fall photography, and then I'll do some editing of those in either Luminar Neo or Photoshop. Haven't decided yet. Anyways, have a look at my shots. I'm also including in this trip to Big Hill Springs, which is a provincial park nearby, which has waterfalls and all sorts of fun stuff there. Probably some drone shots of that. Anyways, have a look at some of the results of this and some of the fall photography. The leaves are amazing. And I'll see you in the vid. So I'm just along the river system here, and the autumn colors are really great. I'm just going to cut down to the river, and then we'll take some pics there and include some of the water features and some of the leaves and the trees and foliage. And hopefully that'll be a fun and a good shoot. Thanks for coming back to the channel. It's had a few viewers and even one subscriber, my first subscriber. So I'm super thrilled about that. Welcome. Thanks for joining me and on this young journey. Okay, well, I'm just here down by the river like I mentioned I was going to, and I think I might actually try a little drone shot. This is a little island you can see over here, and I thought it might be neat to get an aerial view of that, so we'll see how that goes. And maybe there's some shots around here that I can take. Yeah, might be neat. We'll see how it goes. You'll see the results, so hopefully it'll be good. Okay, I'm back here in the studio. It's such a studio. It's my den spare room, which I have a TV and an Xbox down here, and I've got bookshelves and stuff like that. So hopefully I can do it up over time. But for now, it's authentic in that this is where I do my work and stuff like that. So I hope that is cool with you. Anyways, I've got the stuff I'm going to go through with you today pulled up, and it's going to be sort of about cropping and stuff like that, and that sounds pretty simple, but there's some techniques and things in Luminar Neo that are nice and make the workflow nice and easy. So we're talking about some horizon line buttons that you can press that make it really quick, and some of the vignette features are some of the features that work with cropping are really nice, so I'll show you those. But the first image is a bunch of berries that I saw on the trail while I was out looking for shots, and so let's get into that, and then I'll show you the other ones as we go along. Okay, so here's this first image for you. I'm in Luminar Neo, of course. I just thought we'd cover some cropping techniques and some other features that it has. Here's vignetting. Open up the vignette. I've done a bunch of edits, pre-edits, to fast forward this process for you. So here we are in the vignette, and I've increased the size of it and the density of it, so you can see where it's going in and see all the changes. And then of course I'm going to lift that off so that you don't see it quite as crazily as that. And I'm choosing if you choose the subject, you can zero the vignette where you want, which is I think a nice feature of this program. And the really nice thing is when you choose vignetting and then you crop down, such as I'm doing here. Let me just center this up how I like it, and I'll apply that. When you choose vignetting first and then you do cropping, it will still, as you can see around the edges, take into account. Let me just see if I can, if I do it again, it'll add another crop to it, so I don't want to do that. But the vignette retained that area even after the crop, so I think that's a really nice feature that it does. You can see here it is. I just went into the edits area so you could see exactly where it was post edit like that. So that's a kind of a nice feature. I'm just going to add some denoising to this as well, and it's pretty subtle, but I think you can just see on my end I can see how it's just in a little bit of change. And now I'm just going to go into the color area, and I'm going to tone down the yellows a little bit and the greens, and I'll just adjust the blue very subtly. Here I'll whack up the red so you can see the difference, but then I'm going to level it off a little bit less than that, and it's pretty subtle, but just gives it a little touch of specific vividness for that color. I mean, all the editing software has these options, but here's the luminance editor per color. So I'm just going to whack up the red a little bit, or no, sorry, I'm whacking it down, so it just doesn't seem to be as glowing and is a little bit more realistic, and I like that. Okay, the next one is going to be a squirrel. No, it's a chipmunk. Sorry, that was nearby in the trail that I was on, and I was not concerned that I was nearby at all. I was just happy it's Larry eating its food, and actually sort of posed there for a moment with me. So I kind of got a bit of a Where's Waldo shot, because I don't have like a wildlife lens. It was like a wider lens. So, anyways, I'm going to go through the image with you here next. Okay, and here's another image. This one was a really fun little guy that appeared on my walk. He was pretty noisy, chirping away at me, a little chipmunk. And I've got him centered there, just not afraid that I was nearby at all. I was just eating whatever he is eating, and it's kind of a bit of a Where's Waldo shot. If you just look at this picture quick, you probably wouldn't notice him, but there's this little squirrel in there, and it has a little bit of dappled light on the floor of the forest, so I'm going to enhance those in this photo, but let's just look at, say, the possible. We're going to zoom in on this one using crop, and then we're going to use some of the sharpen tools to make sure that it still has sharpness, and control the noise, even though we're zoomed in a little bit. This one probably isn't for print, it's just more of a fun image, so if we zoom in, crop it in, it doesn't really matter. So I've got the crop selected. So yeah, I've got the crop selected, and let's just do some adjustments here and see what it looks like. That's going to give it a nice little zoom in. I mean, I don't want it to be, I mean, I'm not trying to make out that I'm a wildlife photographer, so it doesn't need to be front and center. He's an element within a photo, not the photo. Anyways, that's just applying, and there'll be, I might just do some corrections after this and use the eraser to get rid of some of the features in here. It's being a bit slow, but that's pretty good. I mean, he's very central in the image, but that's okay. Let's just go at some of these items, some of these glaring distractions here. There's a really bright stone, a couple of leaves that are there, like this guy up here. I thought was a real no-no to take out. Let's just see how it handles those. Yeah, really good, like that. And then we'll just do a couple more. And here's one on the edge. The edge ones sometimes can be tricky because it doesn't really know how to interpret right up to the edge, and so it sometimes will do some weird things, but that one seemed to work out fine. I'm going to just change some of the color profiles of this. I'm going to reduce the green because I want this dappled area to really sort of shine. I'm going to whack up the orange in the light so it's a bit warmer. There's some reds and oranges also in some of the scenery, like the chipmunk himself or itself has some orange colors in it. So let's just do some playing around in here, and it just takes off a little vividness of the green, which I like, and I think that's good. Okay, and this is probably my favorite or best picture of the day, in my opinion, which was a flooded meadow or pasture area just before Big Hill Springs that I was mentioning that I went to. And it's usually dried up and it was all flooded and marshy. And so I got a nice reflective image of that. So I'm going to go through that with you here and show you the result. And then after that, I'm going to go straight into the other few images from the day and show you all those. Okay, here's the image from Big Hill Springs. This was probably the best shot of the day for me, or of this session. It's from a couple of different days that I took pics of full pictures. And it was right off the start. You can see the CPL filter I had over is showing up in the corners, and that's not really great. So I'm gonna try and adjust that within this image. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna just quickly go through here and do the raw development adjustments. So I'm going to bring the highlights right down as you've seen me do before. I'm going to whack up the shadows, but deepen the darks overall, and increase the whites because I'm in the histogram. I'm not in fear of blowing anything out here. So that's looking good. Let's do a couple more edits here. We'll just I think that's looking all right. Let's just okay, we'll go to the optics and do the usual lens corrections there. Oh, and look, and it's actually their lens correction has taken care of some of the look of the filter showing up on the edges, so that's really good. I'll probably have to crop it in a little bit more than that, but that's done the work for me to a large degree, which is really great. we'll just add a little de-vignetting there in case there is any. And yeah, that worked out really well. Just increase the vibrance a little. We'll get into the specific colors a little bit more. And here's something I wanted to show you, the dust spot removal. You can see these little, you might not be able to see them. I'll zoom it in when I go to edit this down, but you might be able to just see some of these dust spots. And if we just click this one button here, it should take care of all of those, but we'll just see how it deals with them. And if it gets all of them, there's this little burst of light or a spot there which I don't like, so let's see how it deals with that. There we go. It worked really well. What's funny is that sometimes I look and I'll do some editing for dust spots on my photos, and then I realize it's actually a spot on my screen, not in the photo. Have you ever done that? You're trying to correct things and it's on the screen of your monitor. It's great when I do that. Anyway, yeah, that worked pretty well. And if it did miss any, you can of course go in and manually get rid of anything you want. But let's go in and crop here. I'll get rid of that last little edge of the filter on the top left-hand side. And the other thing I wanted to show you is this great feature with the horizon alignment, which it will find for you. Well, my camera's a little bit older, and so the horizon leveling isn't all that great. And so this is a nice feature. I just hit that button and it will adjust the horizon if I didn't happen to get it bang on at the time. Usually I'm handheld, so that's a nice feature to have. Then I'm going to change the aspect ratio of the crop because I kind of a lot of the time favor a little bit more of a cinematic style kind of image, and I don't want so much of the sky in this. And I think that crop is looking good. So I think one more thing I'm going to do is just going to try and enhance some of these reflections a little bit. And to do that, I'm going to make a mask around the specific reflection in the water. And let's see if I can, how far I get with an ellipse mask here. And I can feather the outside and stretch it to whatever shape I want. Maybe I'll just do that as the start of it, and then I can refine it with a brush to be exactly the shape I want, because this is good for certain areas, but it's not. I don't think it's going to cover all the amount of. Yeah, let's just go into brush and adjust these settings, and I'm going to just add to it and subtract where I need to. Let's just show the area that I'm going to paint, and then I'm using my stylus pens and lens, and I'm going to just paint in the area that I want to have a mask, and then I'll switch it over to erase and make it a bit more of a hard line right on the shoreline there of this marshy area. This is usually completely dry, this area. This is completely from the very wet summer that we had here in Alberta. And so this sort of pasture land for cows and cattle is all swamped, but it's usually bone dry, especially this time of year. It's usually sort of brown and dormant. So it's been an odd year. Anyways, let's finish off this line, and then there's a bit more on the right hand side that I'm gonna just paint in manually. I don't know if you can tell that I'm using a pen with this, but how loose it can be. I'm sure you could have just as much control with a mouse, but I really like being able to use the pen directly on the areas that I want. So that's nice to be able to do that. So let's just make sure we get all the spots. So now that we've got all of those, let's just tweak the the exposure levels in the lighting here. Going to adjust the highlights a little bit and the shadows just in those reflected areas, just to improve that. And then I'll go down and whack up the vibrancy, the color vibrancy in those areas, just to give it a little pop in the water. I think that looks really good. So next, let's make sure that we're going to go into the image quality category here, and we'll look at the sharpness. I'm just going to hit low. I'm just going to use the easy setting, and that'll do its thing. Okay, and there we go, and that's looking good. Okay, well, let's go to the color tab here. I'm going to open up the saturation drop down, and I'm going to get rid of some of the bleed off, some of the green here, as you can see, and adjust some of the other colors like the yellow here. And being autumn, I want to make sure that the orange is really pop through, so I'm going to whack that up a little bit, and sometimes even the red is worth doing in this situation, but I think here it's looking good. And I'm just going to hit the sky enhancer here. As you can see, it just gives a pop towards the top, and it gives a bit of depth, and I think we're looking good. Well, thanks for checking all those out. Another fun session, another fun set of pics, and I hope you enjoyed that. As I said, getting a few more views and things like that, so that's really great. If you can share and like, and not share, if you can like and comment or subscribe, that would be really great, and help me grow my channel if you're interested. And I don't know what I'm going to be doing next time. Maybe some town events. There's some First Nations Indigenous programming going on in my town for the Orange Shirt Day for reconciliation. I live in Treaty 7 in southern Alberta in Canada, and so we have a holiday day for truth and reconciliation with the First Nations people, and so there's all sorts of events happening in town. Anyways, I might go along and take some pics of that, or maybe it'll be some more landscape work out in the paths and trails in and around me. So if you're interested in any of that, I'd love to have you back. Thanks for showing up, and hope to see you next time.